on to sports now. Southern African teams will be competing for bragging rights in Namibia. It will be an evening of warm hospitality, national pride, and a celebration of women's golf. The event is scheduled from the 1st to the 3rd of April. Eswatini, South Africa, and Zimbabwe will be among the countries hoping to scoop top honors. This morning we are joined by Ms. Tashia Kalondo, who is the Secretary General of the Namibia Amateur Ladies Golf Union. So if I end up being too biased, this is my favorite sport. And of course, I'm excited to be having this conversation. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, but I must correct you. I wish I was the Secretary General, but I'm just the Secretary, to the union, the Namibia Amateur Ladies Golf Union.
Absolutely. Pardon me for that.
No problem.
Talk to us about the highlights of the upcoming golf event that is hosted by the NALGU.
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 Yeah, NALGU.
I always want to be careful with those pronunciations.
I love it.
So what are the participants and the spectators expecting from this?
Well, it's not upcoming. We had our first tee off today. In fact, at this point, the ladies should be through the front nine, which is obviously the first half of the course. We can expect some amazing talent. This tournament it's the Southern Regional All Africa Challenge Trophy. So it's the top amateur female golfers in Southern Africa. The only countries that could participate this year is obviously Namibia, we're the host nation, and then we've got South Africa, the Kingdom of Eswatini, the Kingdom of Lesotho, and Zimbabwe. We've gone through the players' handicaps, for instance. We watched them do their practice round yesterday. They teed off today for day one of the tournament. It's 3 days. It's 2 scores to count, so there will be obviously the top 3 ranked countries and then the best individual performer. And just from what spectators can expect, they can honestly expect excellent, highly talented individuals playing golf. They can expect to see a course that looks immaculate. The recent rains have really made a huge difference, but the Winter Golf Club has got a marvelous greenkeeping team. The management there has really put a lot of effort, time and dedication into making sure the course lives up to world-class standards, because this is quite a serious tournament. So the level of skill that's on display is unbelievable. I'm a fairly new golfer myself, so this is new to me. It's really, really incredible to watch. And then, of course, us as Namibia, who's putting on a tournament of this caliber, we should be proud of ourselves. Golf is not a cheap sport. You're a golfer yourself. You lose a wedge, you lose your putter, you lose your driver.
You lose your balls.
Exactly. It's really not a cheap sport. And then to obviously put on a tournament of this caliber, it's expensive. So we've worked hard and we've really prepared to just put on a great display of golf for those that would like to come and watch.
Absolutely. Now, we are also seeing a significantly good number of women now joining the sport as well. Talk to us about how NALGU plan to involve and encourage more women to take up the sport, and of course also what other specific initiatives are in place to support their growth in the sport here.
That's a really good question. Obviously, male-dominated sport. So the female golfers, we've got an issue, I would say, in the sense that the average age of the female golfers in Namibia, for the union, for instance, is 40, which is far too old. So one of our committee members, Cecilia Nkoshi, she's responsible for junior golf. So we are really focused on the development side of the game, so that we've got a new generation of golfers that can come in and have the skills they need to perform on an international stage, should that be the case. We've got the Namibia Open coming up this weekend at Omea Golf Club, and it's a 2-day event. So it's 36 holes. And then we've got a junior division as well, which is very uncommon, a junior division that is specifically targeted for girls. They will only play on Sunday. And then obviously they're not going to play the full course. They play from 150 meters out. And then they still have their 8 shots. So their parents usually caddy for them to help, coach them a bit and just give them that confidence that they need, because they're youngsters. We've got 8-year-olds, we've got 9-year-olds, but they are playing in a serious competition. And they are the level of competitivity is quite high. So in terms of the exposure they are getting, that we are providing for them as NALGU, is something that I'm personally proud of. It's really good to see the youngsters coming up in the sport because their parents need to be as committed as they are. Junior clubs aren't cheap. They have to have coaches. They have to participate in these tournaments that move around the country. So you can see the commitment, and this is what we love to see. So we are looking at initiatives of involving the other coaches who have the junior golfers. We're looking at having a workshop or workshops specifically targeted to the young girl child golfer. We will include boys as well, but the ratio will be a bit different because they are a bit better supported, or there are more boys playing the sport. So we really want to see what we can do to improve and invite and encourage more women to play. MTC's got an incredible program that I was a part of last year, in fact, and this is how I started playing golf, where they invite beginner golfers to participate in an 8-week program. They've got Joe Nawanga, who was Namibia's first black professional golfer, to coach us. So from there, I bought clubs and started playing. You have to get out on the course. You have to be on the range. You know, golf is a very jealous sport. So if you are not giving it attention, it will not love you.
Absolutely.
So we just love to see the amount of women out there. We're organizing a tour to Zimbabwe for the Zimbabwe Women's Open. So we really are trying to give the female golfers in Namibia the platforms, the opportunities, and then also help with some funding to get them to these countries, to encourage them to participate in these tournaments, and to just try and elevate the game of golf for women in Namibia, and then with this tournament, you know, in Africa as well.
Absolutely. Partnerships, sponsorships, and collaborations are quite important for, you know, sports of this nature. Well, like you said, very expensive.
Right.
Are there any partnerships or collaborations that NALGU is looking to establish in 2025, perhaps just to help enhance the experience of golfers and also improve that the event also becomes a success?
100%. You know, I think without sponsors and partners, it would be very difficult, almost in fact impossible, to pull something like this off. It's just too expensive. All the countries are staying at the Winter Country Club, for instance, which is ideal because the course and the hotel are on one estate, one property. So they can see the course from their rooms, the first tee box at least. It's still very expensive. We've got 24 players participating, and we're really looking at this from a world-class perspective, in the sense that let's treat our own local players, the Namibian team, they stay in the hotel as well, that they focus, they're in the zone. That's the one thing. The second thing, excuse me, the second thing is we're looking for a corporate to come on board to, you know, for naming rights with regards to like these opens that we have throughout the year. We don't have great support in that regard. We had Nedbank come on board recently. They made the Central Open happen. That was called the Nedbank Ladies Central Open, in fact. Without them, it would have been very difficult to pull off that tournament. We've got RNA, which is basically the Royal and Ancient. It's a club in Scotland. They are very focused on women's golf in Africa. They actually gave us £6,000 as a sponsorship for this tournament, which is a lot of money. It's 136,000 Namibian dollars. So that is a lot of money. That's what we use to pay for the accommodation. It's what we use to pay. It's what we're paying for, you know, the caddies, for instance. We would also like to enhance their skills and abilities, because these are serious golfers. Their handicaps are plus 4.5, plus 2, 1 euro golfer. You know what that means, right?
My dream, exactly.
I'm a 31, just to give you an idea. So it's just, again, the level of skill and talent, it just makes us feel this is where we want to be. This is what we're aiming to do. Our aim is to elevate this game in the country for female golfers, and we're doing a really good job because we are a recently elected committee, late January, and we really hit the ground running. So we're excited to see how the next 2 years pan out, but we know that we are going to make a huge difference because we already have started to do that.
Absolutely. I wish we could have more time to speak about this, Tashia, but just briefly, what can we expect? Or rather, no, you already explained that. Talk to us about, whoever wants to join golf and as well be part of the event that's, of course, taking place in the coast. How can they be part of that? And what can your advice to upcoming lady golfers as well? Yeah.
I would invite them to come out to the course.
Yeah.
Come out to the course, especially now during this tournament, the Southern Regional All Africa Challenge Trophy. Come out. We've got the first tee is at 9 a.m. So it's tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday is day 3 of the tournament. Come and see the level of competition. Come and see the golfers. Come and speak to us as the committee. You're more than welcome to share my details, our email address.
Yeah.
They can reach out. It's a very intimidating sport, so it's good to have somebody to hold your hand through it, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I would say just pick up the phone, give us a call, and we will bend over backwards because we need more female golfers. It's as simple as that. So we are prepared to do more than meet you halfway. We will borrow you clubs. We will help coach you. We will invite you to come play with us. We'll invite you for our tournaments. So there's a lot that we can do to assist. Anyone who wants to participate just needs to pick up the phone and call us.
And they also need to get their pockets ready.
100%.
Absolutely, Mr. Tashia, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing much about the developments and also what's upcoming in the golf, especially with the ladies, ladies golf union as far as that is concerned. Thank you so much for being here. Wish you all the best for the next 2 days. Yeah.
You're most welcome, and thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.